So today I'm going to give you a review and a step-by-step demonstration on how to set up this Ambient Weather WS-5000 Wi-Fi ultrasonic solar-powered wireless weather station. And this was provided to me by the company in exchange for my opinion, evaluation, and for making this video. So stick with me, we're going to cover every part of it. Now, of course, I've had backyard weather stations. I live in rural parts of the United States, and I always like to know what's going on. I have had AccuRite systems like this one in the past, and they've been okay, but I figured it was time to update to a better system. And one of the things I've had a problem with recently is, of course, getting accurate wind speeds. I'm in a high wind area, high dynamic storm area, to be honest. And my Atlas AccuRite system here, which is probably the best one I've ever purchased up until now. See the anemometer up there spinning away? It's never been accurate. In fact, it's clocked wind speeds at like 24 miles per hour when we know we got up to 60 and 70 mile per hour winds that took down trees. So when I had an opportunity to get the ambient weather system, which has no moving parts, I jumped on it. This is the display of the AccuRite Atlas system. And it's been okay, but look at the wind speed there in the center, and it says peak 8 miles per hour. Now, that has not been accurate. Now, look at this one. This is another AccuRite system, the older one that we showed at first. And look, even the date on it. When it unplugs or when the power goes out, the dates are wrong. And again, with these units side by side, their wind speeds don't match. So I'm ready for an upgrade, and I'm glad to have this system to present to you and to review. I started this review on November the 28th, and of course this time is accurate. And this is the box that everything came in. So we're going to go step by step. This entire video is only 22 minutes, so stay with me. This is what was in the package. A lightning detector, by the way, which I find very useful, considering that we have a pond and I do photography in my yard and in the water, and when there's lightning I want to get people out to safety. So we also have a remote sensor. I'm going to go over everything. This is how the things came in the box. This is the lightning sensor, which is pretty fantastic. It doesn't come with the unit, you have to get it extra. So well worth it, and it has settings for indoors or outdoors. We're going to go over all of that. I'm giving you a close-up of the model number here, WH31L TAC AA. So it detects lightning bolts and strikes. You control the sensitivity, by the way. We're even going to show you those adjustments. And it will give you an alert, so you can get warnings on your phone, by the way. And this one came with 2 AA Energizer batteries. Outstanding, because those are excellent batteries for anything that's going to be outside. And these are the settings. Now the good news is the settings are right on the back of the battery compartment on the unit itself. Plus there is an owner's manual, but I'm going to show you just for thoroughness. I'm going to show you inserting each one of the batteries in everything in the system that requires a battery. Other parts of the system, they did not include batteries, so you're going to want to get these. Now these are the settings. Very easy to follow. Remember, there's an indoor setting and an outdoor setting. Now this is also a housing that is for sensors that you can buy. There are lots of optional sensors. I'm going to be putting my lightning detector outside in this sensor because it looks cool. We're going to put all 3 of them on the same staff. So anyway, this is the Ambient Weather WH31 SRS Temperature and Humidity Solar Radiation Shield. That's so that it protects your sensor from getting erroneous influences on it. And these are the details as to how to connect the arm. These are some other sensors that are in the owner's manual that came with the unit. So you get a thermosensor, lightning detector, which is what I really wanted. And others even have probes for temperatures and things like that. So if you need alerts, this is the thing to get. And this is the item code, WS-5000. This is what you get. You get the display unit. You've got the mounting tube there. This is the sensor that includes the rain sensor, by the way. And you can hear it moving inside. See that little cup right there? Every time it fills up with rain and cycles, when it dips and drops the moisture, it registers, and that's how we know how much rainfall we've had. So that's a pretty cool unit. The water passes right through and out the bottom there, and this sits on top of your staff. I'm going to be using the optional weather station, tripod, and the mast. But this only takes a single AA battery. These batteries last a long time, but of course, as part of my review, I haven't had it long enough to know how often you're going to have to replace the battery. Some people say a year. Now, even though I am reviewing this because they gave it to me, I did my research too, and it is the top rated backyard weather station. So I think we're going to be good. Ultimate lithium batteries are what I put in everything that requires batteries that goes outside. Long shelf life, handle cold weather very well, and we get extreme cold temps here. Now this is the rain cup that goes on top of your rain sensor, and to keep debris out of it, they have this little stainless steel spring wire that goes into it. And of course, I'm going to show you how to put that into. See the little hook there? You push it down, hooks into the bottom of the little funnel there, and look, that's how easy it is. It's installed. Very simple. Again, I don't know how long these things are going to last. This is definitely a piece that's made out of plastic. I can only guess that it's ultraviolet resistant. We put it into the rain gauge here, and you're going to give it a turn, and it locks in place. Plus, there's little rubber pieces in there that make sure that it holds nice and snug. So there it is. That's all there is to it. Let's put that debris guard in there, and it's in. It's ready to go. Then also came with this indoor sensor, which, because I'm a beekeeper, I just happen to have some honey in a dehydrating room. And I'm going to put this sensor in there so that I know that the temperatures are good without damaging the honey, and I can see what relative humidity there is down there. So that's going to be part of my review too. It also shows barometric pressure, and of course this is an indoor sensor. So temperature, humidity, pressure sensor. Very easy. Look, it's reading already. The other cool thing is I don't have to do anything to connect this with the display unit. It automatically senses it, picks it up, and displays the information from your remote sensor. So that's pretty cool. There's an AC adapter. This plugs into your display unit, which is right here. There's also a space there for a micro SD card, which I highly recommend you put in there so that if you lose power, for example, you will have saved your data. It's got buttons on the front of it, and that's pretty explanatory when you look into the owner's manual. And it's got a nice matte finish, so there's no glare on it. All of my other weather station display units are glossy, like glass. So if there's any kind of reflection from light coming through windows and stuff like that, that's been a glare problem, where on the ambient weather display here, it's a matte finish, crystal clear. And this is the data that's showing, but it has not yet been connected to the internet. You're going to hook it up to the Wi-Fi. Now, all the tools that you need come with it. I highly recommend you also get a Phillips head screwdriver. And it's got the Allen wrench, it's got a flat tip screwdriver, and all the nuts and bolts were present, including these U-bolts that mount it to that mast. This is my favorite part of the whole unit. Now, this has got sensors in it in the bottom, but it's also your wind direction and wind speed indicator. Look at that. You know what these are on the top? Those are ultrasonic transducers. I like that there's no moving parts. And it also has a little indicator showing you which direction needs to be north. You can see it right there. They also put it down on where the bracket mounts. But this is your sensor array and impedance. So when ultrasound is traveling through the air and the wind direction comes at you, it compresses the airwaves and gives a wind speed indication. You could actually blow across it and register your own breath. That's pretty sensitive. And there's a solar unit on top and also a light detection system because it reads out what the UV warnings should be for the day. So this is a great little unit, and look at this electrical cord that comes out. That is for a heating unit that's optional, not part of this kit, but you can get one. So transmit and receive ultrasonic unit. Those are the transducers right there. They convert electrical energy to mechanical energy and then back to electrical energy so it displays. There's your solar power unit on top. I could not find much of an explanation regarding what that solar cell powers, or if it keeps your batteries charged or what. These are not rechargeable batteries. These are lithium batteries. We have to put two of them in the top here. And of course I'm going to install those just to give you a complete demonstration here. And wherever you see a spring, the flat side of your battery goes towards the spring. So very easy. You don't have to look up positive and negative. Flat side to the spring, you're good to go. That little green strip there is their gasket that weather seals it. That was very snug. So I'm impressed by that. We don't want any water getting into our battery compartment. This is definitely going to be exposed in the yard, and you just keep screwing it in until it gets flush with the rest of the housing. And it looks to be a stainless steel screen there, so we're going to see how that goes too. It's that simple. Now I did get the optional AMB 48 3AB 125 TAC 35 3-foot tripod and mast. Now there's one thing I figured out on this one. You have an option to get an extension for this. I would get the extension. I plan to put this out in the yard and use the mast by itself. I don't want to put this on the roof. I don't want any interference with the temperatures that it's going to read. And when you put it on a roof, the roofing material can get hotter, for example, and you won't necessarily know if you're getting erroneous temperature readings from that. The other thing is, if you're going to mount this to your house or put it on your roof, you risk drawing a lightning strike. Just letting you know, you might want to check into your local building codes to make sure that you've grounded it. It does have feet that angle so that you can mount it to your roof. There are options on their website, including guy wires. I'm just going to put it outside and anchor it to the ground. And we're going to see how it goes from there. And this is the plug that will go through the tube here. That is for the optional heating unit. So you could warm it up. I guess that's to keep snow and ice from blocking everything up there. I did not get that. Not interested in it. And of course you run the machine screw through, and there's a little receptacle on the bottom for that tiny nut that comes in the packet, so don't lose any of that stuff. Now here's the part that the mast goes into. It has an up indicator on it, but when you look inside, there's a little shoulder down there, so there's really no way to put your tube in upside down. But we're going to mount this. This is the one that's got locking washers on it. And they want to make sure that you understand that when you're putting your nuts on this one, that you do kind of an X pattern. So you start by tightening top left, lower right, top right, lower left. And that's to keep the U-bolts even, and so that you snug them up without creating any odd stresses on this heavy-duty plastic piece, by the way. And it will fit a bunch of different sizes. Again, you're making sure that you know which end is up. And then we'll just snug it up there, and it's installed. Now later I'm going to slide that further down, because I am going to put the rain collection unit right on top, and that's going to cover that staff so that water, ice, and snow don't pass underneath of it. And then there's this little machine screw. They provide this Allen wrench so you can snug that up. Now here we go. Here's your rain collection unit, and the way it's situated is set up so that it goes right on top. Just like that. And then we'll cinch them up again. Same thing. Go from left to right, top left, lower right, top right, lower left, and so on. There are no locking washers with this one. And it does hold things very firmly, because now we've got metal to metal. We're not relying on plastic. And it is going to be critical that you have this completely level. And that was a 10 millimeter open-ended wrench if you're making a list of tools that you might need to put it together. There's the leveling bubble right there. So of all the sensors that you're going to put on this, your rain gauge is going to be the one that's going to dictate where you put it and how you level things up. Now I'm just finding a level spot in the yard and going to put it out there. Now these are the sensors for the lightning strike counter, and it does work pretty darn good, as fortune would have it. We had storms come through. We did get lightning strikes 9 miles away. So read the instruction manual here. There's one thing on it that I found funny, and that says long antenna. There's also a short antenna setting. But it says here, do not change the setting. The long antenna option default is the only configuration available, so don't bother switching it to the short antenna. And there's no explanation regarding what that means. But here they are. Number 2 position there, long antenna, short antenna. So you want to put that in the up position for that. And also you can fool around with the sensitivity. All the switch positions are there. This is the housing that's going to protect it from the weather. And if it were another type of sensor, of course, it would defend it from direct sunlight and from influencing your sensors, because we want to make sure that we get readings that are true. But this is just a lightning sensor, so I'm popping this in there. So I switched the switches so it's for outdoors. It is sent for, higher sensitivity, and then of course I can go back and adjust that later if I need to. This is very accessible, just those little clips right there. You see there's a little brass threaded area to receive that machine screw that comes with it. This is the arm that goes on it, and you can see right through the hole there. Remember, you have the option to mount this vertically on this pole or horizontally. We're choosing the horizontal position, and then we're just going to put that in there, and we have the Allen wrench that goes with it. So this is a great place to use the Allen wrench. Snug that right up. Everything fits together really well, so I have no complaints about fit and finish, things like that. The sensor slides around in there, and of course, in the upright position, it's not going to go anywhere. This will fit on a very small diameter tube, but we're mounting everything on the staff that comes from Ambient Weather. So there it is, all on the tripod, all 3 sensors. That's pretty cool looking, I have to say. My only concern is that maybe the chickens would fly up and land on it. I would like to get that optional extension staff on there if you're looking at it. Now look, the sensor for indoor temp and humidity is already reading and displaying on the display. 68.2 is the temperature, 44% relative humidity, and that's accurate. So then we look at the left side there, 39.6 outside, wind gusts. So 4.3 miles per hour, 1.1 mile an hour, and it has the wind direction indicated there. Very clean. So here's my phone. I'm going to add this device. Now before you can go on and connect your phone to that unit, you have to connect your unit to your home network. So you're going to go through the settings, follow the instructions in your owner's manual, and connect your display unit first to your Wi-Fi. If you don't do that, you won't connect it to your phone. So once it is connected to the Wi-Fi, then you can get your phone. This is my phone display here. Open your web browser, and it says go to ambientweather.net. There it is. This is what the website looks like, and I'm going to walk you through that really quick. This is very simple, but a lot of people are new and may be wondering if they're doing the right thing. So when you go to the Ambient Weather Network, you have to create an account. No big surprise there unless you already have one, but if you have one, you're probably not watching this video. So anyway, we connected to the account. I created a login, and then once you're logged in, you're going to want to add a device. And it says if you have a device to add, click Add Device. So we do that, and then you look at the page, and it says Connect your device. Now on your phone, when your phone connects to your display unit, you're going to get a MAC address, and you're going to be able to type that in. And then you can put in your own information. You can name your device. Mine was named The Way to Be. And do I want others to view my weather station data? I personally don't. You can, and then of course you contribute your information to a whole network of other people that have backyard weather systems. The MAC address will show up on your phone, and you read that directly from your display unit. So then once everything is installed and you have the app on your phone and you've added everything, this is what the dashboard looks like. I don't know about the person whose location showed up at the top. You can choose that to display your own location. I didn't do it because I don't want people finding me. But these are all the sensors, all the information that's coming from your display unit. So you can check this on your desktop, which is what's being showed right here. You can also check it on your phone from anywhere at any time. And one of the things I really like here, look at the lower left, all batteries are okay. None of the other weather stations I've owned would display battery levels. It was just up to me to go out and find out if they were accurate or not, and if they still had life left in them. Also, another reason why I want to put this on the tripod right at eye level in the yard is because if I ever need to change batteries and things like that, it's right there. I won't have to climb ladders. And I'm only interested really in the information at eye level, which is where it's going to deal with my bees and stuff. Now here's the app you want to download for your phone. The Ambient Weather Network. That's what it looks like. And then you, once it's downloaded, you open it. And there you are. By the way, that app didn't get very good reviews. I don't know what people were upset about, but I guess some people didn't like it. For me, I like these displays. Today's peak, rainfall, everything is here and it's very clear, very large. Don't need my glasses to read it. Relative humidity, 83%. UV index, how much at risk am I of getting a tan today? Very low. Lightning strikes, 2 of them, 8 miles away, 2 hours ago. Now, temperature, 67.8 at 44%. That's on my kitchen table there. All batteries are good. I like that story. And by the way, when you go in your display unit, everything can be calibrated. So if you find something that's wrong, if it's reading temperature incorrectly and you've got a better instrument that you can calibrate that to, then you can adjust everything right on the display unit. So I'm very happy with the information here. It says right there that my ID is the way to be. That's good to me. Now look at the inside temperature sensor, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The humidity is at 26%. Now that's really good for me because what I'm doing is getting honey ready to be harvested, and there it is. That's the sensor inside a drying room that heats the honey to get it ready for uncapping and processing. And also at 26% relative humidity, it's going to dry it out even more if that honey has too high a water content. So I'm very happy to have that. And if you notice all the signal strength at the top there, everything is giving full bars. So it says that you can go up to 1,000 feet. It's 1,000 feet or 1,000 yards. I'm going to say 1,000 feet. And but for all my purposes, it's more than enough. Now here we are back at my Accurite Atlas system here, and I want you to notice I'm looking at wind speeds here. See how it said the wind speed is a peak of 14 miles per hour. Now that has always annoyed me because I know we've had big strong storms come through, trees have blown down in the past, and compare it to this one. Now with my ambient weather system, it says the peak was 35.3. That is way off. So aside from the connected capabilities of this thing, the accuracy of the readouts, and the cool, no moving parts ultrasonic wind sensor, I like this thing. I'm definitely going to recommend it. But as I said before, in the tripod that's out there, by the way, look at wind and rain, rock steady. And you can put anchors on the ground and, of course, mount it right there. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I definitely recommend the Ambient Weather Station WS-5000. Thanks for watching.